Alright. Sorry, I took off my shirt not to make you feel weird or make me feel weird, but because then you'll be able to see more of inside of me. I really want everyone who's watching to be looking within me, to look past the surface of me. So, a couple things that I want to talk about, get into this, is open and close. So open and close is your body. Is your body open to breathing the environment? Or is it closed to not breathing the environment? So just gonna kind of go through that right now. So we'll start off with open. So open is just allowing everything that's around you to flow through you. And if you would like right now to project yourself onto me and just fly around and through. So open is just to let what is there pass through you. Now we're going to go to closed. And closed is, of course, closed to allow it not to pass through you, to stand as an obstruction to the flow around you. So now again, come to flow through me. So the purpose of open and close is going to be when we get into throwing punches. If you want to build up under your skin, you would close, and then you would push your mind, push your energy into that closed area, but you wouldn't let it escape. So it would all just build up in there so that you would be protected. Your fist would be protected when it hits something. It will be an external blow because it will be physical. There'll be no launching of the mind. It will be just when it hits, it's physical against physical, object against object. But when you're open and you throw a hit, it's not so much physical. It's not one object trying to hold still and both objects hitting, but both objects not wanting to go, like not wanting to move, so all that impact is in one spot. But when you're open, your mind is thrown through your fist and through the object that you're hitting. And in Chinese practices, Qi practices, it's soft Qi and hard Qi. Hard Qi is when you close it up, and and then you build it up, but you don't let it go anywhere because you got it closed. And you punch. So physical. Soft chi is when you punch, but you're open so it flows through. My cat was meowing. So open and close. Those are two states of being, two ways of to interact with yourself and your body. So next is the two big ones, which are building up your mind, building up energy to be able to use in tasks to perform better. And the other one is storing that energy so you can use it and it won't just float away so quick. So this is said through a lot of different cultures, and this is also in a lot of different animes they call it different things. Hunter x Hunter, it's called Nen, and they describe it as burning your soul. In Saint Seiya, they describe it as burning the cosmos, also burning the soul, burning the cosmos, burning what's around you. And there's another one, but they also call it burning the soul. So all three of these will kind of relate it to different experiences and different actions and stuff, but it's all the same as burning the soul, burning the cosmos, burning yourself, the environment, to create a buildup of energy, or what we're calling energy right now before science catches up to us. So, burning the soul. I'm going to do that, and I want you to first give me all of your attention, and then second, I want you to see and feel me, feel my body, and observe with more than your eyes my body. So here we go. So, burning the soul is different for everybody, but there's one thing that's common about it, one thing that stands as typical is relaxation, and from your relaxation you're pulling out energy, pulling out a liquid, a substance. So relaxation and just letting it come out. But it's different for everybody, and once you get it, you'll never forget it. And if you've watched Hunter x Hunter, when they're doing that, in the beginning, they learn to do it, and then later on, when they're wanting to become stronger, they're asked to do it for 30 minutes. And keeping that up for 30 minutes is very hard. At least it's very hard for me. And towards the end of the show, they have to keep it up for 3 hours, which is ridiculous. But that is a technique, burning the soul, burning the cosmo, creating Nen. That is one of the very basic, most done techniques in like many of these practices that practice spiritualism and the mind and their terms for energy, for this substance that we're using to work with our body to perform effects. And when you see, maybe you've seen people on YouTube and they talk about their body getting really warm, that is burning your soul, burning your cosmo, pulling forth energy. And yeah, so, and also it's very good if you're, in a second we're going to get into it, but if you have this shroud, this kind of cloud around you that you've built up, then when you're around people who are emotional, then you're less influenced by them. Or if you're around people who are being mean to other people or being nice to other people, that when that's radiated off of them, it will come to you, but that shroud you've built up blocks you from it, so you don't experience it, so you're kind of protected in your own well-being. But so the opposite of building this up is actually disappearing and losing and hiding your presence, and that makes you very sensitive to people around you. So if someone's being nice to somebody around you, you're going to feel all of the emotions and everything that's going on over there as if it's happening within you. And if someone's being mean to somebody else, cutting up on somebody, you're going to also feel like you're being cut up, because you don't have this cloud to kind of I don't know if I want to use the word protect, because it's a little different than that, but it's this cloud of your own well-being, so you're less influenced by the things around you. So that's another important thing of building up Nen, or building up your energy, building up your potential, burning your soul, is to keep you kind of clouded away from that, so you can react to a situation when you want to react to it, instead of, if you didn't have that around you, then the situation would automatically cause you to react. So give me your attention one more time, and this time I'm gonna go completely invisible, and this time I need your help for this. I want you to see me, project yourself onto me, and just watch me very closely. Okay? So, that is disappearing, hiding your presence from somebody, is actually an interesting concept, because they'll see anything that is different than them. that automatically stands out. So when you're trying to hide your presence from somebody, you must leave behind everything that they will notice. So you must comply with their screens. If they have a screen that says you can't get by, then you must give up what cannot pass through that screen, and you must pass through with the only thing that is allowed through it. And then once you have passed through their many screens, then when they turn to see you, they don't see as many differences, so you're less visible to them. So hiding your presence is about giving up what won't pass through the shields or the will of the other person. They have certain things that says, I will see it because it is this. Well, you must lose what is this to not be seen. So, that is building up and going invisible, or hiding your presence. And also, the hiding your presence thing is also another good way to recharge, because it does drop your shroud of energy that you've built up. So you do kind of like lose that, and you're like very sensitive to the situation. And so once you lose that, you become extra sensitive to what's around you. So if you were trying to know what somebody is feeling, and like maybe at first you're looking at them and like you're not getting anything, you don't know what they're feeling, but you know that they got to be feeling something, so you need to become more sensitive. So to become more sensitive, you drop all of your guard, you drop all of your defenses, you drop everything that is around you, and you become just a raw nerve to the things around you. And then you're more sensitive, and you can see things, and you also that's how your body can heal faster. If you've done the building up energy, and like you've done it a lot, and you've practiced throughout the day, and at the end of the day you're really tired, and like maybe you're feeling a little moody because it's all gone away, and you're really sensitive to every one of your thoughts and the environment, just kind of isolate yourself, and then stay in that naked, sensitive to your surroundings place to recharge. Now, I didn't get into storing, so let's do storing. So again, I want you to watch me, and this time we're going to build up energy, we're going to build up Nen, and then we're going to store it. And storing it is actually interesting. You can store it in your body, you can store it in the ground, you can store it in objects and stuff like that. Wood is very good for storing. But there's actually right here in your lower dantian, right below your belly button, kind of just in your stomach area, is actually a place that can store quite a bit. It's like the battery of the body. Not that your other parts of your body can't store a lot, but it can store quite a bit more in your lower dantian right here. So to store, first we're gonna build up, and then we'll do storing. So watch me, feel with me, and burn with me. Okay, so once you've built up some, then what you're going to do is focus inside, and you're going to just try to pull it all in there. So you're trying to take what you've just built around you, and you're just focusing in one spot, and then like those water pistols, because we're gonna get into firing, just the ones that you know you psst, 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 psst. When you're letting up to do this, when you're letting up the trigger, it creates that suction to fill that tube again with water. So the same thing. So when you're letting up, you're filling that tube up with water, kind of like when you squeeze a sponge and you let it go, it sucks in. Same thing. You're going to focus on that spot that you want, and then you're going to suck in. You're going to release the sponge. You're going to unlet the trigger so it can absorb that water into the body part that you want, which is our lower dantian for right now. And that can be any part of your body. I mean, you could do it in your arms, in your head, in your legs, wherever you want, but the lower dantian is kind of special in that way. So that's storing. And also there is a zoom in and a zoom out, which I'm just going to talk about briefly, and that is when we looked inwards towards our stomach. Maybe when you built up that shroud, it was kind of out here, pretty far outside of your body. So you zoomed in to a spot, and then you filled that spot up. And you can also zoom out, like, and then try to fill that spot up. But when you're trying to fill up a bigger spot, you'll need more energy to create that pressure in the bigger spot, because it's more area to fill up. So you can zoom in and you can zoom out to put energy in certain spots. So zoom in into the stomach and absorb like a sponge. Okay. Another thing before we get into the firing is intent. So you can take this energy that you've just collected in your lower dantian by burning and then zooming in and then sponging it in, and you can kind of, you can release that into a ball, and then you can form intent with this. So for example, I want you to come to me and come stand in front of me. So I have this, and if I'm looking at you all, then say I want to change my intent to I want to kill you. So you release the energy around you, but as you release it, you say with your words, I am going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. So you put that, you release it, and then you kind of program it with your intent, or you say your words. It can either be in your head or out loud, and then you really have to believe your words. You have to back your words with your will, and then you can release that I'm gonna kill you thing. So yeah, so they can have different intents and stuff, and So now, two more things. One we'll do is, I think it's called Gyo, and that's just when we concentrated the energy to our lower dantian, we absorbed it and stored it so we could use it, and I pretty much used it all when I was trying to, when I released it with the intent to kill. But you can also concentrate that into your fist, and that's Gyo. Or what it's most commonly used for when they say Gyo is concentrating it into your eyes. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to build up some more energy, some more Nen by burning our soul, burning the cosmos. So if you'll come to me and we can do this together. Okay, so as I was building up, I was also kind of piggybacking, storing it. So now I'm gonna try to store the rest of it, try to get it into my stomach, and try to keep a slight focus there to remember to keep it there and not release it. So now that you've built it up and you've stored it, or you've just built it up, doesn't matter, you're gonna concentrate it into your eyes. So you're gonna kind of, when you focus on your eyes and you're moving it to your eyes, you also want to burn it, just like you did burn it before, but burn it in your eyes. So burn it in your eyes and concentrate it there at the same time. And then when you do this, and my eyes are kind of lopsided right now, like see if I can get the same focus in here. And when you do this, it you can see energies, you can see auras a little bit clearer. You'll have that vision, that type of vision to see the energy side of things a little better. And keeping them focused in your eyes is kind of difficult, especially when you're looking around and you're shifting your vision. But just keep burning it in your eyes. Same with if you're going to make an energy ball. It's one thing to put your hands here and move it into the center, but it's another thing to continue to create. So to move it there, but also burn in that spot. So you're creating and you're moving it there to create a denser ball that will actually live longer. If you're trying to release energy, you want to burn it the whole way that it's moving. Because if you don't burn it, it will kind of release and kind of go out in. But if you're burning it, it's got a little core at the center of it that's constantly creating as it's moving, so it will stay together better and move a farther distance. So the last thing is going to be, I have to move the camera so you can see. See if you guys will be able to see that. Yeah, you should. Okay, so the last thing is going to be releasing energy. So there's, it's like the camera's not even pointing over there at all. So there's let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's good. So there's two ways to do this. First we're gonna build up energy, but then there's either we can shut it off in our fist and not let it flow anywhere, and then build up the pressure, and keep it in our fist, and then we can fire a physical fist with keeping it completely closed. And then the second one we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot, and we're gonna release. We're gonna, like the pistol that shoots. Once it's in, you're gonna shoot, and then as it gets to your fist, you fire. So this is very dependent on your body, how quick you can do this. For example, when I'm gonna jump, if I want to jump and I want to release, then when I fire, it takes a second to travel from my body down into my feet, and then once it gets to my feet, I can jump. But I have to wait for it to get to the bottom of my feet before I jump. If I jump too early, it will it actually kind of almost feels like it's stinging, or it like if you were to throw a punch but you'd be really tense, then it kind of like creates this feeling instead of like a nice release. And so timing is really important. Timing is really important. So if I were to release now, and it already shot out, and then I punch this, it would hurt. If I were to release, punch, and then it comes out, then it would hurt. But I need to release and hit at the same exact time. So timing is very important for this. So we're gonna build up our nen, build up our energy. Here we go. Try to get a nice good build out of it. So I'm gonna stop there. But to build up for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes would be for the most. So as much as you build up is how much power you'll have, and then with each punch you throw, how much power in the punch you throw will drain it that much. So you'll only be able to throw so many powerful punches depending on how much you've built up. So gonna try to store that in the body, mostly in the lower dantian. So I'm going to start off with hardening. I'm going to actually do my left. So closing off and not letting it flow. but at the same time of not letting it flow, also forcing it there. So not flowing and forcing it. So then you get a then you get a very strong physical punch. So now I'm going to punch, but I'm gonna release and fire the energy, but at the same time. So timing was a little bit off. When I was about this close, it was about a little into my hand, and when I hit, it was about almost to my knuckles, so I was a little bit, I should have swung just a fraction of a second later to get the hit. So you got to fire and hit. So, timing is important so you don't get hurt. And, next, I will go over the flow rate, and I suppose put it in this video too. Flow rate. So, when we practice moving our mind through our bodies, from our tips of our fingers to wherever, and then we practice moving our mind inside of our bodies down to our legs. And one good thing that you could do right now is to move your focus inside and start with an arm and try to trace the bone. Try to trace the bone, go very slowly and trace the bone. And you should always be feeling the bone on your way down. What happens when the flow is congested is when you're going down your bone, your focus, your mind will leave the bone and it will be in the outer muscle or it'll be in the outer skin and go by down like that. You want to feel the bone in the very center all the way down. And if your mind or you begin to not feel the bone, then it's congested there. So so the same thing with the legs, and legs are I mean, I guess it could be different for people, but legs are one that take a long time. Actually, for people who get the name of being a Buddha, one of the requirements for getting the title a Buddha is that you have cleared your legs and cleared your feet. So it's a really big deal. It's a really big deal. So to do with your legs, you focus on the bone and you try to feel the bone all the way down, all the way down. And you move really slowly, and if your mind and if you stop feeling the bone, because it kind of goes away from the bone, then there's a congested spot there. So then there's these things called meridians, And there are these pathways that people have traced out, and it's like the easiest pathways that they've noticed for energy to flow, for the mind to pass, to flow. And they have diagrams, and there's 12 main ones, and those are a tool, a guide to assist you. And it's the same thing as moving the focus along the bones, except you move your focus along these lines that they've mapped out. Pathways. So, and you want to be able to move your focus, your mind, through these pathways, all 12 meridians, and feel each one, and feel your focus not go another way because it can't flow through that meridian. You want to be able to move your mind through the meridians. So it's not just moving the mind along the bones, and it's not just moving the mind along the meridians. It gets finer and finer the more you work with it. Soon it becomes moving the focus from cell to cell, to where you can move your mind anywhere in your body, and it moves with the precision of moving cell per cell. Or, I mean, maybe a little bit. Well, yeah, okay, so with the precision of moving cell per cell. So, actually, your meridians are actually your whole cellular connection, each cell connecting to each cell, moving your focus from each point to each point. So there is a lot to work with. So, so flow. So how much flow in your body is when you're throwing a punch. When I said you have to fire and then hit, but you have to match it up with the firing. So for a couple times there, when I mentally shot, but then I'd punch, but it would only be to like here. So then you have to fire before you even punch. You fire, and then you punch. It was a little bit late, but you fire and then you punch. So you have to, and how much energy you're firing with also depends on how fast it's going to move. If you're using more, it tends to move faster. If you're like tired and you're exhausted and you fire, it moves really slow. I mean, you can fire and it'll be like, and then you hit as soon as it gets to the end of your fist. So you're sitting there, you're like, boom, fired. It hit. That's how much of a delay there can be. So, so how fast it goes and how much you're able to push forward, how much you're actually able to launch. So you could build up a cloud of energy that's very dense and thick, and then you could store that. I mean, you could try to store that, because if there's a bunch of congested areas that are very tense, you can't store much in them. They're kind of clogged up. They're like shut off. But if you work with them by going through the meridians, following your bones, and then moving on to trying to get every cell to flow with your mind at the speed that your mind can actually move. Because when you think about it, your mind can just move from like here to here very, very fast. Very, very fast. And the actual flow of energy of the mind actually going through the physical body is slow, and we can speed that up by continuing to go through them, to continue to lubricate them with our own mind. So so yeah, even if you were to build up a whole lot of energy and you were to throw a punch, you're not guaranteed to release that full amount. Say, you have, I don't know, a ton of energy built up, and you punch and you go to release, you may only release, you were trying to release all of it. You were trying to go like, this is your ultimate blow. You've just built it all up, and you're just going to swing with everything you've got. And you swing with everything you got, and you release everything you've built up, but only 2% of that actually hits and provides a force. So you can be limited by your own your own limits, your own lack of training in the basics of your flow, of what your body is capable of. You could be trying to do too much, and your body isn't able to flow that much through you at that speed. So that's flow, and how there's speed of flow and there's amount of flow, the current and the speed.